Good morning, it's MJ, the creator of the Crow Tarot and the Wise Dog Tarot, and thank you so much for joining me. This is the reading for the collective using the Wise Dog for, actually we're going to do this for the whole week because I am going to be traveling and I do not know what reception is going to be like. So this reading is going to be a little bit different in that we're going to do a whole week's worth here, and we'll do a weekly reading instead of a daily reading. So I am gone from Sunday to Sunday. So let's see what the pups bring us for this week, this last week of August. And the first card I'm going to pull this morning here is the card for today. So this is the energy that we're working with today. Oops. And this is going to be more of a forecasting kind of reading. See what we're working with energetically speaking. And it's funny, it's like with the crow readings, I have not missed a crow reading. Oh my god, it literally has been it's been over a year and a half, a year and 8 months, 9 months. So I feel like a week, taking a little break may not be such a bad idea. Okay, so this is for a week-long reading. So let's kind of clear my energy because I'm really excited and it's like I can feel all this energy kind of coming through. So, okay. So the energy that we're working with collectively today is the Ace of Wands. And that's getting that vision going for, where you want to go. This is perhaps feeling a bit guided, you're picking up on the clues, you're seeing an opportunity here. There's a chance for travel. And so I'm going to take that as a nice sign for today. And so that's for Sunday. So if you have places to go, if you're on a journey, perhaps pay attention to the signs that are around you as they will perhaps heighten this experience in a positive way. And so what we're going to have come to us on Tuesday is, ooh, look who shows up again. Hey there, little devil. So Tuesday, we may see ourselves perhaps feeling a bit of an attachment to something or to an idea. We may feel, we may want to look at areas where we're overindulging perhaps. Or, if it may be, say if this is your work week, you're starting something new, you're maybe starting a new project, or you're getting ready to go on a work trip, look for areas where you perhaps fall into bad habits, because it becomes comfortable. This may be something, on Tuesday, it's like you may just want to be careful that you don't overindulge. If you have a work party or a work event or something going on Tuesday, that may be something to be just aware of, right? I mean, it's not that you're going to do this stuff. It's just bringing it to your consciousness. It's just saying, hey, this is what we have going on. It may be easier to slip into that mode of, saying, oh yeah, sure, I'll have another cocktail, or yeah, please, I can eat a second or third donut, right? So this is that, just to be aware. So now that you're on this path and you're doing something with your creative mind and you're expanding, pay attention to old beliefs or habits that keep you tied down, that keep you from progressing and seeing perhaps the signs that are out there for you. So now that we have the devil here on Tuesday, what do we have? Sorry, this is Monday. So coming on Tuesday, let's see what we have going on here. So on Tuesday, again, we have this journey, and this is perhaps, if you think about how this plays out. Again, I also like to look at the colors. So very similar here. We have these blue skies, rusty tones, lots of white coming in here. So for me, that is the white in here is that like white light of the universe, a divine light that's coming in to help you. And so I'm trying to make this so that we can get all these cards in. I might have to overlap some. So this Page of Swords coming in on Tuesday may be this opportunity to break free from whatever it is that you are attached to. It may be this time where you stand up and you say, you know what, that is not who I am. Thank you very much. This is what I believe in. And you see these white trees here. These signify something that has lost its soul, right? Something that no longer feels joy. And so this to me is this path that you're on, this journey that you're on to discovery. And part of this is going to include perhaps acknowledging on Monday an area that is holding you back. Something that you're doing, a pattern perhaps that you're working with that's holding you back. And so here we have this lovely Page of Swords coming in, and this is where you really feel your confidence level kind of soar. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't like what happened yesterday. I didn't like how I behaved perhaps, or I didn't like how I didn't stand up, right, and take control of myself. So here on Tuesday, this is where you feel that confidence, and you find that inner strength to confront whatever it is that you're dealing with here. Again, you're on this journey. So this Ace of Wands sets us up for this week, and you're on this great journey. You're on this path, and there is some divine guidance coming in. If this Devil here on Monday, whatever this is, if this comes in, if this is, you know, if this is like you, like, you know, like giving in, you know, because it's just so much easier to like slump on the couch than deal with a problem. You know, if it's, you know, again, not allowing your best self to come through because, you know, that extra drink feels really good at that moment, right? Just be aware of that, because you are going to have this opportunity to confront it. So let's see what Wednesday, what hump day brings us. And here we have another ace, and this is where you, again, like to me, this is the pony boy card. This is that stay golden, you know, card where you recognize your talents and your strengths and where you sit in this material world, and how you have that control to make that space as perfect and as pure as it can be. This is from you working within a space of integrity to bring about the things that you want in your life. So if you want change, this is where you work towards that change in a way that doesn't need the devil to help you along, because you recognize this energy for what it is. You do stand up to others perhaps who may not have the best intentions, right? This is where you use your voice within your current situation, and you draw to you that which you desire. So how these two play out here, this Page of Swords and Ace of Pentacles, you can see kind of like how this week is progressing. You have this great journey. You're confronted by something that may not benefit you so well. You know, it's kind of putting you in this state of preferring to be numbed instead of taking action. But you realize that, like, you get a clear picture of what's going on here. And because of that, you can start down this path. And this is where you are now, in this place to see the opportunity to get things, you know, crystal clear in your mind, and to work within a space of integrity where you're working at your higher self, your best self. You know, there's almost like there's an innocence to this quality where you feel, you know, as though just like a child would feel, as though like they can do anything, right? You can't tell a child they can't do something. Well, one, that would be wrong. But then two, I mean, you can't anyway because to them, the world is open. It's so vast. There's so many opportunities. And so I feel like that's where you get to on Wednesday. You feel this extra perk, like you feel more optimistic about yourself and your situation. You get back this initial feeling that the Ace of Wands has here today, where you're like, I'm embarking on something new. Yes, I've got this. You may hit a little bit of a pocket on Monday. You may get some self-doubt, but don't fret too much, because we have this Page of Swords energy that's going to be available to you, and it's going to come in and it's going to say, hey, you've got this, right? Speak up, speak your truth. Don't let people who have become jaded or soulless, deter you from basking in the sun, from walking down this path. You have this strength. You have the ability to envision that which you desire. So stay golden. Stay in that state of wonder that you have as a child. And you will draw that to you. You'll draw whatever it is. You'll create this journey in a way that will pull out the best experiences so that they come to you. Okay, so let's see what we have going on for Thursday. And there we start to see a completion of sorts. So Thursday, you find that you are working towards something. You overcame that hurdle. You spoke your truth. You worked with integrity and optimism to bring something to you. And here you reach the world. And this is a time where, with every ending, there's a beginning. So this may have marked an ending that, it may not have been a complete closure, but it's going to be something where you, at the end of the day, you go, wow, I finished that. And it feels really damn good. And I'm now ready to move on to something new. So this ending, this significant ending in your life may be, again, tied back here to this energy of the devil, where you understand it perhaps a little bit better. You get a clearer picture for how this devil is operating in your life and how it may be derailing this journey. And so by having this closure, you're now able to use that as a launching pad, as a jumping off point. So if you think about, like, now, we're closing up the week here with Friday coming up. I mean, like, the week is looking pretty good. I mean, Monday there is that little hiccup, but I think that hiccup is going to prove to be very beneficial, in that it's going to put a light on an area that you need to address. And that's where you're going to be able to stand up. And you'll be able to create this closure. And it may be one that you've actually been working on for some time. This new beginning may just be that final leg of the journey. And it really takes this energy of the devil to show you how far you've come and what you can now address. So let's see what we get for Friday. And so Friday, I feel like you're getting you're feeling probably a little extra confident here, and you are driven. It's like you've got this thing. You're like, yeah, I all this is now in the past. I'm ready to move forward. And I have a strong belief here that began earlier in the week. And now I'm just like, I'm charging ahead, right? So the caution on Friday I see here is, be careful if you are so fixated on your idea that you kind of brush off other people, or you don't take into consideration how they may feel. So if you're just like somebody who's like, you know what, this weekend we're going away, and your family is like, but I wanted to have our weekend where we just stayed in and, snuggled on the couch. And you're like, we're going away. And if you're very much putting your needs or your ideas or your beliefs so far ahead of somebody else, it may cause some feelings of just some, like, depends on how close you are with these people, but it could ruffle some feathers. It could make people feel like you don't listen to them, that you're only interested in what you're doing. So that's on Friday. So let's see how the weekend shapes up. See, so now you may be feeling perhaps like you're alone here as a result of this energy. And it may be that not that you're moving forward with something and taking the reins in a way, and having this firm belief that you're acting on may not be the worst thing if you're moving away from a situation that no longer serves your purpose or your higher good, or if it's no longer helping you reach your potential. So if this is a job, let's just say, where you come to grips with your talents, and you know that you deserve so much more, you may be ready to call it quits, and especially if you're offered another job. This may be something here, actually, where you put the feelers out for something new. Something may be holding you back, like fear from putting out your best self, because there may be a belief attached to that. But when you do stand up and you show off how great you are, and you speak your truth, and you are honest with yourself and others about how talented, or where your areas of talent are, that's where you draw people to you, and it's where you'll appear to be golden, and that may mark an ending. And this ending may be that you lose a job that is holding you back, or that's keeping you small, so that you can move forward with a belief that it is powerful, and it's yours. And I get this vibe that you're not going to let anybody get in your way. And here, though, on Saturday, what we're looking at is taking the time to evaluate, perhaps, areas that aren't serving you, that perhaps are holding you back, and that there is potential, there is another opportunity out there. And although you may have some regrets, and it could be linked to this Devil card here, because he does still have his hooks in you in some way. But again, we see these trees, and these trees, again, on this on the Eight of Cups, as well as the Page of Swords, these white trees, it's like this lack of energy, this lack of life. And so you may be looking at this opportunity here to get away from a situation that has lost its luster, its life. And there is this potential on the other side of this big mountain here, but you have to have faith and feel optimistic. Oops, sorry. There's a little river, and this is where you're connecting with your intuition, and you're following that light. Again, you're being guided very much like with this Ace of Wands, and you're allowing for messages to come in through your intuition here with this little hummingbird, and you do have the strength to persevere and get through. And it is going to be a winding road, but you will reach a place of feeling whole and complete by taking action. And so let's see how you close the week on Sunday. And we end up with justice. So this is where you find balance. Oops, you can't see that. I'm sorry. We found justice, and this is where you find balance. This is where things come together, and you're now working in a place where you feel complete. Again, with this, it's like you're able to keep your emotions and your logical mind operating from a place where, you know, one doesn't interfere more than the other. So I feel like this is a very restful, sorry, I keep moving over, a very restful energy for Sunday. So let's see what advice the dogs bring back overall, and then we'll kind of go, I'll pull each card out and we'll go through it real fast here. So the overall advice the pups bring to you to help you through this week. Well, that's not okay. But I think I get what the message is here. It's not necessarily advice, it's more so of the message that there may be some heartbreak. You may feel as though somebody betrays you, but what will end up coming out of this event will be a transformation, one where you go from a time of sadness and despair, where you feel perhaps disjointed from your spirit, where you feel disconnected, and as a result of this path, you see the little butterflies that come up here, you find yourself in a place of feeling as though you're part of a community, or you're part of something greater. You know, you join forces in a way where it's just very powerful. So you do find this light at the end of the tunnel. However, during this journey, you may go through these emotions of feeling as though you've been betrayed. So let me, again, so for Sunday here, for the first card of the week, we have this opportunity for a new adventure. We have a new beginning that is available to us. The signs are there. We need to pick up on these signs. And this may involve, again, it's like a sense of travel, a sense of going somewhere new, a new destination for you, a place where you can see out, you know, like where you're capable of seeing out into the future. You're capable of getting that glimpse. You can't really see exactly what's out there, right? You can't really predict the next 6 months, but you have a good idea, you know, of what to expect. And so I feel like with this Ace of Wands setting us up for the week, it's a really positive way to start. Then we have this devil that shows up on Monday. And you know, Mondays can be a devil, that's for sure. But this is going to try to drag you back into that place of comfort. It's going to be that energy that's going to have you saying, oh, no, don't try too hard, because that is just, why bother, right? I mean, you're not that good. Why would you, you know, it's so much easier to just stay on the couch. Just relax, grab the remote, you know, maybe get yourself a drink, you know? So that's the energy the devil is to be cautious of, because it is going to try to keep you playing small. It's going to try to keep you in this place where you're not seeing your potential or understanding how much more you could offer, and how much more the world offers you. It's not just that you get, you know, that how much you offer, but the world is there for you as well. But the devil doesn't want you to see that, because if you see that, then you're going to just very easily leave him, right? And so this is on Monday. So on Tuesday, I feel like that's where you start to get your strength back, and you recognize this devil in your life here, and you stand up and you speak your truth. You recognize there is an opportunity for you. You don't need to be surrounded by perhaps people who are jaded. If you're in the workplace and, you know, you work with people who, you know, don't recognize your talents or belittle you or, you know, disparage your efforts. This is where you stand up and you're like, oh, no, hell no, I don't need this. I know my strengths. I know my, my positive qualities, and I know what I can bring to the situation. And you find that path out. Again, here we have the Ace of Pentacles, and this is where you recognize yourself as being perfect in every way, you know, like how we are as a child. We come in with all this wonder, and there's an innocence to it. This is where you stay golden, you know. Again, this is what I call the pony boy card. For those of you who have ever read The Outsiders, you know, it's like stay golden, pony boy. So that's the vision I got here with this card, where you honor your true self. And because of that, you create an ending. And again, that harkens back to this card here with this ending. And I feel like these two are very much connected, in that this may have been a time of sadness, or a time where you felt betrayed, especially because of this devil here. But if you look forward, what we have going on is this sun, this bright sun, that is going to lead to a better place. And so this is where I feel like you get angry, right? Where you're like, oh, no, no, no. You know, it's like, this is the Page of Swords is where you come to that realization of what's happening, right? And you start to take action. The Knight of Swords is where you really get fired up, and you're like, this is my belief. I knew who I am. I know my value. So get out of my way so I can get about my life. Okay. So thank you very much. And so this is where you, I think, recognize who you are, your talents and your strengths, and you're just freaking crystal clear in your vision for where you're going. There is not a storm you can't get through. So again, this is where the healing process comes with this Ten of Swords. So this is, this is that idea where, yes, you've been punctured. Yes, you can feel it, right? That's where you have the acceptance of it and you recognize it for what it is. This is where you don't let it create a space of bitterness in your heart. This is where you allow for loving, like healing energy to come in so that you can attract positive things into your material world. That's where you make this big change in your life. And this is going to be a good week for you. And the Knight of Swords comes in where you're like, yeah, hell yeah, I rock this. Get out of my way. This is where you come to terms with perhaps what you've lost and what isn't working anymore. And then at the end of the week on Sunday, it's like you create this balance and justice is served, and you are now ready to move on to a brighter, much brighter future. So I hope this reading makes sense. I know it's a long one, but it's a long one because I'm doing a whole week's worth of reading in one day. So I hope you enjoy this reading and get out there and kick some ass this week. Feels like, from what we saw today, I think you've got it. Just recognize where that devil's holding you back, because that devil is what's going to have you experiencing this heartache right here. But just know that you have the clarity, you have the wonder, the innocence to create that positive ending. And then you're going to just, once you have that ending, it's like frick on a stick, dude. You're moving forward. You're taking off. And here, you may recognize when things aren't working and you're optimistic about the future so that justice can be served. So, and sometimes that justice is success. I'll tell you what, is the greatest revenge. So if you're happy and you're successful, oh my goodness, people who are who have lost their soul, who've lost their connection to spirit, and they just sort of they're miserable. What they hate most is seeing somebody become happy and successful. So that's where I feel like that's where you get your reward here. This is where you come through. So much love. I so look forward to seeing you or hearing and talking with you guys next week. And I'll try to post pictures on Instagram when I can. So, and I'm going to go right now get this written up because we've got a lot to do yet. We're still packing. So much love, peace, bye.